All right. Let's see. IFON from yesterday. Yeah, I didn't hold those levels. So with about a minute to the bell here, I'm just going to quickly look through the ones from our watch list. So specs, we were watching SPEX over 220. PTI, I said maybe over 650. Maybe. OPG 5 and FTFT is a maybe as well. So with about 10 seconds to the bell, there's nothing that I'm really honing in on. So I think I'm just going to watch my scanners to see what type of opportunities we have once the bell rings, see what starts to move. Also dropping. PTI whipping around a little bit, specs below 2. Specs not holding up super well. Just need another window over here. FTFT specs looks like it might pop back over 2, but I see a hidden seller. It looks like at 95. You see all those buyers there at 98 and 99, but it's having a hard time really opening up. People kind of get bored of that at a certain point. INNT. So this one, right, from yesterday. It was really actually nice yesterday, but at this point the spreads are so big, the volume is so light, it's going to be hard to trust.
FTEK, FTEK.
BXC, a little bit of continuation. Again, though, that price range is not easy. Pretty big spreads.
Forex.
So just sitting tight, being patient, not pushing it. Thing with specs is that
RASC.
it's really only moved like 20 cents today. I mean, it's got 2.3 million shares of volume. I'm not saying it's not moving, but so far, I don't. Other than kind of watching, but it looked like there was a hidden seller there. I would have only made about 10 cents. I mean, it's just not a lot.
FTEK.
Every trade you take carries risk, so you want to measure that risk against the best reward potential possible. INNT continuing higher.
FTEK.
But the volume is only 47,000 shares. It's very light. Team 27 now 224.
FTEK.
So that's the biggest move that we've seen out of it so far. 30,000 share seller at 25. The nice thing about having a big trade, the way a lot of us did yesterday on RKDA, is it takes a little bit of the pressure off. We don't need to be really, really aggressive today if we don't see anything that looks great.
FTEK. Forex.
Yeah, and the thing with INNT right now, you have a 50-cent spread, 22.50 by 23. That spread could open up even more than that.
FTEK.
Specs.
FTEK.
If I was being aggressive, I would probably go for a scalp over 25. I don't know that there's really. I mean, we'll let it do this 1 minute micro pullback. But BXC 33, they're 20-cent spread right now. It's strong right out of the gates, but I haven't really seen where I can get in because it's just kind of straight up. Hasn't been a pullback. It would have been a break of 31, the break of the pre-market highs, which is a possibility. I mean, that would have been okay. You're up pretty nicely from there, but. So right now, Specs is doing a little bit of a 1 minute micro pullback with a high of 25. It may be worth watching in this area for a scalp. Probably it would be over 220, 25 pretty quickly. If I took that trade, I'm just going to watch it here. Okay, I'm long at 218.
RAS.
Sold at 220. See what that did is it did that false breakout because it tapped 24 and it wasn't able to break that level. And so you see that this does two things. You have long traders who bail out because they're like, oh, it's not working, I got to sell. And you have short sellers who are eyeing these types of false breakouts to take a short with a stop at 25. So, on the other hand, though, this is a 1 minute micro pullback, and if it had broken over 25, it would have gone probably up to 28, 30, 35, and continued higher. The same as we've seen with so many other stocks. So a small winner, which is good.
RASB. RISC, RISC.
INNT. Yeah, I mean, yes, that is a setup for the first 1 minute candle to make a new high over 23. But the risk on this one, if it does a false breakout like specs, is that you could lose like 80 cents per
SSC.
share. Even with 1,000 shares, that's $800. So that's your downside risk. It's higher. So like I'm watching it, it's tempting, but that fear is that if it goes the wrong way, it's going to hurt. And this isn't a good 5 minute setup right now. It's a 1 minute setup only, which is not bad if the risk isn't too high, but I think the risk is too high to take this just 1 minute setup. Because what's going to happen on the 5 minute chart? Most likely it's going to pop up, maybe hit 24, and then roll over, drop down, and it's going to look like a shooting star. It's going to look like a a doji with a tall upper candle or upper wick. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'll work, but so I see the buyers there. I'm hands off. It's kind of hard, but I'm not feeling safe to do it. It's also only 100,000 shares of volume. It's pretty thinly traded right now.
SSC, PRPO, ULBI.
RKDA, I see it. I have it up on another screen, but I'm not sure if it's really worth a continuation trade because it didn't hold its level very well yesterday. It sold off a lot. We usually like to see it hold at least 50% of the move, and it came down quite a bit.
FTEK, FTFT. Emma, Ribtwa.
NETE.
ZDGE, ZDGE.
Yeah, I see that price range. The high is 1420.
AFH. SSC.
It's up 3% on the day. So it was a decent breakout out of 1360. PTI, let me take a peek.
FTFT.
FTFT, we were watching, but remember this one does these pops and drops. Looks like some hidden sellers at 49 trying to sell under the $0.50. PTI, I'll watch. High a day. I'd like to see a nice clean pattern on PTI. Float's 21 million shares, a little higher. High is 650, so nice move there. Oh, a little bit of a seller, 11,000 shares at 47. So this is doing, that red to green move. High is 650. I would watch maybe around 650 for a scalp, but I'd like to see this candle close. If I get in here, I'm not actually buying a pullback. See, there it goes 54, 58, which is, you can do that, and we would call that the most aggressive 1 minute micro pullback because it did pull back inside that 1 minute candle. But when you go back and look at the candles, you're not going to actually be able to see the pullback because it basically is just two green candles in a row. So now you've got 60 by 60, 55 by 60. High of day is 790 or 690 from pre-market, 693. I'd wait for the first micro pullback on PTI, or the first real like 1 minute bull flag. With 6 million shares of volume, you know that it's a little on the crowded side. Maybe some short sellers getting squeezed out here. I'm not sure, but I don't usually hide share size, but sometimes I will. It depends on the stock. On PTI, I wouldn't because it's
ORGS.
shares or even 5,000. So high of this move was 67 now.
ORGS. PTI.
So again, that's not a pullback, so that's why I'm not a buyer yet. This is one of those ones where you could get away with chasing, obviously, because it's just gone kind of straight up. So if I had just jumped in at 640, I would have made money. But I'm only up $260 on the day. I
ORGS.
really just want to have good quality entries, and if that means I miss some of these, that's probably better than just jumping in. I mean, look for instance on NETE. What would have happened on this one if I jumped in at 14 up here?
ORGS.
I would have had to hold through the dip to 1368, down 40 cents. So 23, it's at 2150. So it's better to wait for the entry to come to you, and if they do run without you, then that's okay. It just means that we've got strong momentum in the market, and you'll get the next one.
Emma. SSC. PTI.
So the entry there could have been at 67 for the 1 minute pullback. See if it looks like it's working because it's going to high day. I wasn't sure if that would work or not, but Some sellers on PTI in the 90s. Yeah, I saw ORGS halt. I don't know. It's only 44,000 shares of volume.
PTI. Orex.
Specs maybe doing a red to green, kind of like PTI. I'm not sure. Remember the high was 25. Okay, I'm long. Long this one I'm going to jump in because I think it might do the same kind of thing that PTI did. This curl off that pullback. So we want to watch it over 25 for an add. Got my order ready to add at 25 on specs. So watching here for my ad. Didn't get filled on my ad, unfortunately. So I just sold half, sold it all at 29. $1,000 profit. I'm up $1,386 on specs now.
SPEX.
7.2 million shares of volume. It's crowded like PTI.
SPEX.
Nice move on specs. High is now 40, so we'll watch the 1 minute micro.
NTN. SPEX.
High is 42. Probably go a little smaller on my share size on the next trade if I take another one, just so I don't risk giving up too much profit if it goes the wrong way. I was taking 7,500 shares on specs. So we'll watch this to see what it does for a 1-minute pullback. PTI is nice, but it's not been the easiest because it's just 4 green candles in a row. So I'd watch, oh, okay, I'm long spec is 42. So I want to see it break over 42. You see a little hidden seller at 36. I'm just going to stop out, I think. Not sure I'm trusting it. See what this does. High was 40. Needs to get over 440. Stopped out at 32. So I don't know that that was even really a winner. Still up 1,300 bucks. I think I lost $40 on that trade.
NTN.
PTI over 25 is a possible scalp on this 1-minute pullback. It's obviously extended, but there's potential in there for a scalp. 10 million shares of volume, up 72%. I'd watch it over 20. Watching the level 2, 15 by 18. Okay, I'm long at 18 and 19. Looking for that break at 25. So that looks like it's a false breakout. We'll see if it pops back up here. Stopped out for a $1,100 loss. So I'm up only $227 on the day now. So I would watch around 25 for a scalp. Okay, I'm back in at 25. See if it squeezes up here. 31. High was 32. I'm thinking if it breaks over 32 and opens up a little bit.
FTEK, 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 FTEK.
Stopped out at 16. So it puts me down $400.
Lens.
Yeah, I see specs. It's kind of a funny setup. I'm not sure if it's, I don't know if it's really strong enough here. The high was 42.